Hey everybody, Wes here for Monday's workouts. For the strength, we're going to be going into some dumbbell shoulder exercises. 3 sets. We're gonna have start with light dumbbells and then try to get through those movements, and then you can make decisions on if you need to stay at that same weight or go up for the next 2 sets. But the goal is to, whichever exercise you're doing, get through that set of 12 unbroken. First one will be 12 front raises. We're going to take those dumbbells, raise to the front for 12. We will then go 12 lateral raises. You can rest as needed in between exercises, but maybe you're able to go straight through into that lateral raise. And then 12 bent over reverse flies. So we get to a good hip hinge position, palms facing each other. Those elbows can be slightly bent as you squeeze those shoulder blades back. So think about your elbows going back towards the ceiling. Feel that squeeze on that reverse fly. Feel like you're rounding, stand up, shake it out, get into a good position before you move on. Next one for the workout. Every 2.5 minutes times 5, but you will have 30 seconds of rest after each round, so really a 3-minute round. Times 5, we're doing a run, as written it's a 200. We're then doing 15 strict dips. We'll have different options for that. And then the goal is to finish those in about 1.5 minutes so that you have a full minute to hold 2 kettlebells, double suitcase, or farmer hold with them on the side. Your score is going to be the time that you spent, the longest time that you spent holding both of those kettlebells. So your goal is to get through the run and the dips as fast as you can, maxing ourselves at 1:30 so that the least amount of time you held those kettlebells in one set was 1 minute. So starting with the run, we want that to be able to come in maybe a little under the minute mark, come in and go right to the dips. If we need to change our run distance, we will. Change our cardio mode, we will. But we will then go into the strict dips, and getting through 15 is going to be hard. We want to try to keep these to 2 sets. You will have the option to do this with the rings. We'll practice some of this before the workout. If you haven't done these in the rings before, we're just going to practice holding at the top, trying to keep our body in a hollow position and keeping those rings close. If they're starting to get away from you, it's definitely going to be hard to actually dip on this movement and have control. So we'll practice holding first and then controlling our body down into the dip. Depending on how high or low these rings are, your feet can go forward or backwards. Next step would be to do that with a band. And I'm going to show, last time we did this, we actually did 2 knees in the band, and we're going to show a 1 knee in the band version, so that way you can use that other foot to help you up if you need it. We can then also do it from a box with our feet forward. The further out our feet, the harder it's going to be, but we're still thinking about that good angle with our arms going back. The more we bring our feet in, we can get those legs a little bit more involved and help. Or we can even do it the backwards way with those feet going backwards, but the same thing. You can get your legs more involved as you go. We can also go at the edge of just one box or the edge of a bench and do our dips that way. But 15 is going to get harder. Okay, so we want to make sure that we aren't taking too much time on those and keeping it to 2 sets. So be ready to change that movement depending on what you need. You'll then go to your double suitcase hold. Right after you finish those dips, pay attention to the time, and you're going to hold until the end of that 2:30 round, and that's going to be your score, however much time you had there. You'll then rest for 30 seconds, go into those next 4 rounds, trying to keep it consistent as you go. So pretty fun one, especially when we get to do strict dips. We don't get to do dips at all very often, so that'll help us build for those push-ups that we have later in the week. Have fun. We'll see you tomorrow.